So, anyways, who would like to read 3199? Humans Refuted. Because I read a pretty long one, so I wasn't sure if someone else would want to read.
Definitely not in the mode.
Should I read it?
If you wanna.
Item number SCP-3199, Object Class Keter. And the site responsible for it is Site 114. The director of it is B.E. Wing. The research head is also B.E. Wing. And the signed task force is Omega 19. I like that it's like up there in its own little thing. Special containment procedures. All live instances of SCP-3199 are to be contained at Site-114 within a modified Keter humanoid containment chamber, hereby referred to as primary containment. The walls, which should be coated with approximately 2 centimeters thick acid-resistant steel. CCTV equipment is installed in the northeastern and southern western corners. 2 meters of empty space are to be allocated between primary and secondary containment. Secondary containment consists of suspending all live instances of 3199 within a block of solid transparent substance, currently clear acrylic resin. This block is to be at a height of at least 3 meters. 1 armed security guard is to be stationed outside primary containment at all times. An 8-digit passcode can be obtained from the Site-114 director in order to bypass primary containment. Secondary containment is to be regularly examined for damages. Movement and activity of any kind to be noted. The current Site-114 director is to be informed at the earliest possible convenience. A temporarily recall procedure is detailed at Addendum 3199-3. Experiments involving the use of SCP-3199 instances are strictly prohibited without the approval of at least 2 personnel of Level 4 security clearance or above. As December 6, 2017, there are 4 live instances of SCP-3199 successfully contained. That was crossed out. As of February 18, 2019, there are 6 live instances of SCP-3199 successfully contained. Something definitely happened between those 2 dates. Description: SCP-3199 denotes a species of sapient Category 5 biological entities currently indeterminable origin, though tissue samples indicate the presence of silky chicken, which is called Gallus domesticus, its scientific form. Chimpanzee, scientific name Pantroglodytes, okay. Stout, which is basically a type of weasel, but the scientific name is Mustela emenia? Muscle, oh sorry.
Yeah, it's ER, Armenia.
Yeah, okay, I said it right. Just slow. Mussel,
Okay.
which is a type of shellfish. Adder, which is a type of snake. And human DNA. They're typically hairless, stained with a thin layer of albin-like excretion and stand at an they stand at an average of 2.9 meters. That's very tall. That's taller than any human will ever get. So
Actually, that's like right around the height of like some of the tallest people in history. I was watching I was watching a video about great swords, and it ended up going into discussion about whether or not certain extremely large great swords were meant to be wielded by giants.
I think they were just very intensely strong people. But yeah, 2.9 meters is 9.5 feet. So 9.5 feet. Which is, as far as I know, no one currently alive is that height that I know of.
Well, yeah, not currently alive. Just like that's like in the upper scale of possible for a human to reach with like a very severe case of gigantism.
I don't know anyone that's ever been that tall, but I could see how there might have been humans that tall.
Yeah.
Especially during the times before we had medicine to help people with gigantism.
Yeah.
It does kill people, but well, anyway, it
Well,
weighs
yeah.
average of 780 kilograms from matured instance and 360 kilograms for hatchlings. Topsy has determined that cervical vertebrae for a mature SCP-3199 instance are composed of cartilage rather than bone. Very bendy then. This enables the neck and throat to twist and dislocate around 340 degrees in either direction, aiding their unusual reproductive cycle. Fucking assholes. SCP-3199 are opportunistic hunters engaging with live subjects within a currently unidentified radius, which has been crossed out, within a radius of 0.6 kilometers surrounding hatchlings that have not yet reached full adolescence. That is a large amount. Average speed is recorded at 25 kilometers an hour. That's fast. Upon contact with human or animal subjects, SCP-3199 will proceed to redacted liquefy internal organs and bone structure. A suitable cadaver is then transferred within range of the closest hatchling. Just drive away if you see one. Drive far away. SCP-3199 produces large eggs of an off-white coloration and rubbery appearance. An egg will pass through the entity's digestive tract, esophagus, and eventually out via the mouth, followed by a viscous red substance. First thought to be a form of placenta, chemical breakdown has determined it to be highly corrosive material. SCP-3199 shows extreme distress through the process, with personnel describing the sound as not dissimilar to a scream. Well, I guess that's childbirth. SCP-3199 produces its eggs to fill unoccupied space. There is no known limit to the number of eggs SCP-3199 is capable of producing, and the standing theory is as follows. Given enough time, a single instance could single-handedly perform an LK-class species transmutation scenario. The termination of a live instance can be achieved through a variety of equally effective methods. SCP-3199 has proven to be around as resilient as a standard human subject. However, complete eradication has proven difficult, as all instances of SCP-3199, regardless of age, carry one egg within a specialized stomach-like organ upon birth, assuring that one living instance will persist through even ordinary means of constant and lethal assault. This biological phenomenon is presumed to be in itself anomalous in origin. A single SCP-199 egg can bear a tremendous amount of resilience, maintaining its form and purpose even following continual subjection to extreme blunt force trauma, pressure exceeding 1,800 psi, high precision blades, serrated and non-serrated, and long-term acid exposure. Have they tried throwing it in lava? The application of plastic explosive was considered but quickly rejected by high administration. Heat is a primary component in the no lava. Heat is a primary component in the growth and development of SCP-3199 eggs, see Addendum 3199-4, and Foundation researcher Pywug Bythel was particularly apprehensive toward, believing it would almost certainly result in a second containment breach. That's fair. SCP-3199 was a Keter classification on October 6, 2017, following a containment breach. SCP-3199, prior to containment breach, a sedated water bath was disassembled and replaced with a revised containment procedure as listed above. Addendum 3199-A-09, unredacted, redacted 2017, 05, redacted, dispatched the following notice. All further experiments involving 3199 eggs are strictly prohibited. Hatching periods have proven too unreliable to warrant extensive research, and the consequences of a containment breach become more and more apparent. The 05 Council has unanimously decided to nip the situation in the bud. Until new and reliable information to light, all personnel found acting against protocol will be subject to standard zero-tolerance risk assessment training and punishment determined on a case-by-case basis. We thank you for your continued cooperation. SCP-3199 was discovered in the redacted Ireland following witness reports of a bald creature crying like a banshee from within an undisclosed area of woodland. These reports resulted in the dispatchment of Mobile Task Force Omega-19, who arrived on site with a total of 12 armed personnel. 2 personnel were lost in action, internal organs and jaws having been almost entirely dissolved. During transportation, SCP-3199 produced 2 offspring, resulting in the deaths of a further 6 personnel. That means that would have been 4 people left alive out of 12 armed personnel. I'm sure those 4 people are totally not. Okay. Addendum 3199-A-2 on redacted 2017, a thorough sweep of SCP-3199's initial recovery location was enacted on an attempt to recover the creature's origin and purpose. Local reports suggest that the small remote residence in question has been abandoned for at least 2 decades. Surface Team Delta-029-E recovered several items of interest, including 1 bag of assorted thread and needles of various colors and sizes, approximately 13 chicken carcasses based on collective halves and quarters, with precise incision located on underbelly, neck, and thigh. 6 of the carcasses have been plucked, with visible human teeth marks lining the bare areas at random. Several containers, including water and Tupperware boxes holding an unidentified watery paste. The paste was deep brown in color, and the presence of oxygen. And in the presence of oxygen, it turned viscous and hard. That honestly, it probably turned viscous and hard as whoever made it probably designed it that way, so you can't gather the information on it anymore. As an A5 notebook, redacted brand and heavily scratched with what is determined to be human fingernails. The word New Breed Manifesto are written in the front cover. 2 chicken feather quills. The notebook the notebook itself consisted of 24 pages of standard lined paper with an non-anomalous black. 19 of these pages consisted of various cuboid patterns and crude childlike illustrations of vaguely resembling SCP-3199. On the remaining 5 pages, large lines of writing detail of the diary of an unnamed individual. Much of the written script was illegible. One exact in particular, dated at redacted 6/1973, was written with a notably higher clarity. If you're reading this, then lucky you. 400,000 hour from not till be warm and wet and warm, and the wonderful versatility of inferior human DNA will birth a better era, stronger ear, one where illegible food and water will be nothing but things of the past as we make and make more until illegible. I really haven't much time. That's why I envy you so much. You'll have all the time you need. Time will be on, and death will be life. New life needs things to live. New life will be part of life from now on. Man, if that's the most sane part of it, then what's the rest say? The final pages consisted of various ink blots, 13 instances of the word life in inconsistent sizes, 2 instances of the word want it, want it, want it, and the lyrics to English songwriter Frederick Weatherly's Danny Boy and Old Gaelic script. The identity of the journal's author is pending investigation. Addendum 3199-3, Protocol 34-22-B. The following procedure is to occur in the event of Site-114 containment breach, an effort to safely and immediately recontain SCP-3199 instances. On-site personnel with Level 1 security clearance or above assume standard lockdown procedure and evacuate to Site 3 to await further instruction. Site 114 is to be flooded in its entirety by a clean distilled water treated with dissolvable Class A sedatives. Surface Team Tango 306-A will be dispatched immediately to retrieve any lingering instances of SCP-3199 eggs. Any living instances of SCP-3199 will be terminated on site, and the remaining eggs will be collected. All egg samples are to be transported to temporary off-site containment within a stable water bath. Site-114 will be subsequently drained, and staff will be dispatched to thoroughly clean and sanitize the grounds to a green zone, Foundation standard. Personnel attempting to breach Site-114 before this inspection is complete will be apprehended and punished accordingly. Note: number of personnel have expressed their skepticism in regarding what the scale of SCP-3199's containment breach protocol. Clarify: we have reason to believe the fluid is an excellent counter to SCP-3199's reproductive process. It appears to enter an inert state in the presence of liquid, regardless of thickness or clarity. The leading theory is as follows. SCP-3199 discerns around to be occupied space. Regardless, I believe I speak for all Site-114 when I say we are quite relieved to have found a safe and consistent method of containment. Dr. Lewis, December 5th, 2017. I do not know Dr. Lewis's gender. Interview 3199-1-9 I-01. I guess that's I-01. Subject: Captain Dongen. Interviewer: Dr. Ewing. Subject had undergone extensive psychiatric therapy prior to the interview, and while the Foundation does not consider them responsible for the deaths of Private McLeod and Private Langley, subject expressed feelings of guilt in having neglected standard Foundation health and safety protocols. Begin log. Take the seat, right? Please, if you would. Captain Dongen clears his throat. White noise as he sits, visibly anxious. Could you explain your mission briefing? The job was pretty simple. No authority or visual triggers that the higher-up Site 114 knew about. Seems to me that they've done a pretty top job scraping the area clean. Never is that easy, though. We've landed around 2,100 hours. The boys and I had been told that we couldn't catch the thing. The next best thing would be snapping a frame or two. So they hooked us up in the best in night vision hardware. Shifts uncomfortably in a seat. I know you have pictures, Ella. I know you've got something. I have no papers to shuffle. I'll shuffle this box. Okay, that wasn't good. Okay.
Here,
You're under no obligation to view. No, I know that. Just shook me a little. Please, go on. We found something within the hour. Almost like a shack. Totally out of scrap metal and wood. More like an oversized chicken coop than anything else, but I don't know what your new monster built it. Made it a home. And I assume you're entered ASAP? Of course, it was a late shift. We want it over as quick as possible. I'd like to say that's why I did what I did. Can't bring myself to make excuses. I really, really fucked it up, ma'am. Pardon my French. It's perfectly appropriate, all things considered. However, I'm going to have to ask you to continue explaining the procedure. Right, Will. I have two of my men stationed at back, Private McLeod and Private Langley, and they take first charge. Fresh out of training, they were kids. Should be used to it by now, but never seen a smile get cut down so quick. I knew we were there somehow. It knew we were there somehow. Jumped right at Private McLeod and that expunged. Fucking teeth out of his head. See it whenever I blink, man. It's the shit that stays with you. The Foundation will take every measure in providing financial compensation to the families of your lost men. Could you elaborate upon the causality? Silence for a moment. Captain Dongen leans back in his chair. Pause. Dongen, please, I must urge you to continue. The more we know, the more we can do to stop it from happening again. We barely had time to react before it started moving down the corridor to the right. I guess the adrenaline had just about hit me, as I had fired off enough rounds to blow a chunk out of its chest. Just as its ugly head was about to round the corner, I saw a fucking moonlight on the other side. Bullseye. Thing let out the most awful scream. I have a beautiful little boy at home, Doc. You know that? Irrelevant discussion of domestic life isn't necessary for this procedure, Corporal. Could you please? I have a beautiful baby boy who just loves wailing when he's too cranky to sleep. You know what? Every time he does, I think about that scream. I see it in my head. I think of what it did. His paw gives him a look like he's gonna bash his fucking head against the wall. They were good men. Please, Ella, kill that monster. For no one else, for me. End log. Note, I extended my strongest condolences as to the families as those lost during SCP-3199's initial recovery. Furthermore, I would like to formally request that Captain Duncan is administered one Class B amnestic at the earliest possible convenience. No excuses. Dr. E. Ewing, Site 114 Director. Addendum 3199-04, Experiment Log. Experiment 3199-E-01, Heat Exposure, redacted 2017. Subject, 1 egg sample from SCP-3199. Method, subject relocated to a secure containment cell. Inside temperature of the cell was gradually increased at an average rate of 7 Celsius a minute. Result, after approximate 9 minutes, the egg ruptured violently and produced a single hatch. On-site personnel reacted swiftly to recontain the newborn. However, the excessive internal temperature appears to have impacted the physical maturity of the hatchling, and it reached adolescence at an accelerated rate of 40 seconds. The now adolescent hatchling produced 2 further instances of 3199. Security response on site was swift, and all 3 instances were detained cleanly. All subsequent heat experiments involving SCP-3199 eggs have been postponed until further notice. Experiment 3199-E-02, Cold Exposure, redacted 2017. Subject, 1 egg sample from SCP-3199. Method, subject submerge entirely in liquid nitrogen. Security remain on standby throughout the procedure. In light of prior experiments, after approximately 45 minutes of exposure, SCP-3199 has reached minus 190 Celsius. Following 2 hours of exposure, the egg was removed and placed under a hydraulic press. Results, hydraulic press peaked at a pressure around 9,000 psi. Cracks appeared approximately 30 minutes in exposure before the sample shattered. Egg fragments were collected and furthermore pressed into a fine pulp. 0 traces of album or yolk were located. Complete incineration of a shell's remains proved successful in destroying the egg and its reproductive capability entirely. Experiment 3199-E-03, Chemical Analysis of Shell, redacted 2017. Sample, 10 grams of finely pressed eggshell pulp, taken from SCP-3199 eggshell. From an SCP-3199 egg. Results, detailed chemical breakdown show traces of nacre, enamel, and currently unidentified carbon compound. Microscope analysis suggests the shell itself is composed of a tightly packed crystalline structure. Practical application of this material is pending administrative approval.
So, 2 things before I should have done now. One, when you're reading it, Busted jumped in my lap and looked at the computer screen the entire time.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare Busta.
No, he was watching.
Oh,
Yeah, I said he was in my lap and watching.
Oh. Did I do the voices good enough or I got a dog? And is Hatchet okay?
Yeah, Hatchet, you good? Because you're muted.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just changing my trash bag.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Also, I have to pee, so you guys discuss the thumbnail while I'm gone.
Oh.
I feel complimented. I've never had a dog. I just kept thinking, man, I am not reading as good as the bot did. The
Yes.
bot did that so good.
I'll be back.
What the fuck is that?
Is what? Oh. I guess that's their version of this SCP, which looks like this. But it's the skin of the SCP itself is supposed to look albinistic, pale and pinkish. Are you laughing at how badly?
It's just the fucking Dover demon. Give me a sec. Oh. Okay, it's not quite the same, but it's the first thing that I thought of.
Show us the Dover demon. I want to see how much alike it is.
Oh my god.
It looks more like the Dover demon than 3199.
Why did they? It's like they mixed the Dover demon with the Mothman. Why is it showing fingers on the one in the foreground?
Also, they use literally two different designs for both of them, even though they're supposed to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What the hell?
I'm back.
Maybe I think we need to mark that as like a 4.
I was gonna say, like, the one in the back is a severely badly drawn 3199. The one in the front looks like a badly drawn The Rake.
No.
Oh.
Actually, if you look at the bottom at what put up, that's the Dover demon. Look at the one in the front, and then look at the Dover demon.
That was my first thought, but you know what? Rake jump scare in chat. But you know what? Yeah, it's definitely got the Rake vibes.
Yeah, it does look like The Rake.
They combined the Dover demon with the Rake.
But what?
Oh my
So
god.
basically, the rake. But if he had like a chicken-like mouth shaper, no, that's not leech. If they had a leech mouth, there we go.
Not even leech, more like lamprey.
Uh,
Leeches
you're
have
right.
three. Leeches have 3 big teeth, not like the whole bunch of teeth.
That's why I said
in
you're
the
right,
circle.
because I was like
Yeah.
looking at
Oh,
like
okay.
yeah. Although it has the same shape and like idea of leech,
Yeah.
lamprey would be more accurate because they have more teeth.
Also, why is the one in the back running like an idiot?
Well, technically, there's the leeches that have many rows of teeth, but let's not go into them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so what was the thumbnail number, you guys think?
4.
I think I'm fine with 4. Like, if it was literally just the one in the back, I wouldn't put it past 1. Because like at the very like it's a poorly drawn version of it, but at least it's just the thing. But they just randomly added the Dover demon rake.
Also, I want to comment that we've seen them do decent thumbnails before. So it's not like they don't know how. They're lazy.
Okay, I have some good news and some bad news.
What?
One,
I'm gonna guess without looking. Right link, wrong author.
No, it's the same author and right link, but
Did
they didn't
remember
include the
to,
copyrighted license for the SCP itself.
That means
Design.
they're
like the
technically not
picture.
allowed to use the art or design for the SCP because they did not.
Well, isn't that like specifically just for the
Image.
like the picture that's
Yeah.
accompanied?
It's mainly just the image, but basically there was a content farm that did use the image and did not put the license. So basically, if we see the image at any point, then
Oh,
Okay.
it was Professor Lucius, if I remember correctly, who used the image without permission.
okay. Also, let's see if when it gets to where it mentions O5 Council, if they'll mention it as one O5 person or someone on O5 person, O5 Council.
General
just-
long General
or
Long
just-
Dick 05. Go
Well,
ahead,
isn't it
Edward.
like General 05 Long Dick actually?
Oh yeah, I think that was the original joke.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyways, we're start. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Define ready.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
The Foundation personnel entered the wooden cabin. There were only 3 of them in total. It was a small mission, just a precautionary check of the reports of strange sightings
No,
in
it
this area.
wasn't.
No. They're trying to figure out where they came from.
So
Let's
that's
see,
so that's
what-
just a 1. It's already a 1.
So
Oh,
let's see.
Let's see
Right.
if they include all 12 personnel.
You're saying, Hatchet?
I was gonna say it's definitely a good sign when there's already a fucking factual inconsistency 12 seconds in.
Yep. And again, we're already at like a 1 for like.
I tend to be more generous, but yeah, it's
I'm also assuming because how the previous one was very long and this one was really long, this is probably going to be it for tonight. I'm guessing with you guys. Because the next one is super long.
What's
Oh, yeah,
the next
probably.
one?
093 with its like mini experiments, like the different colors.
Yeah, we'll do that one next week.
Yeah. And then the one after that would be the Crooked Man, which is also super fucking long.
the Crooked Man is a fucking novel.
Yeah.
I love the Crooked Man.
Yeah,
It's a damn
definitely
good
one of my
novel, but
favorites.
it's a hell of a novel of an SCP.
Yeah.
I feel like when we get to next week, we need to take turns because otherwise, not.
Yeah, that's
Uh.
definitely.
Yeah,
If
so
I
like
just realized, Hatchet didn't read anything.
yeah. So
Well,
you're-
I partially just am not feeling up to reading tonight. That's why I kind of just let y'all do it.
yeah. So you're thinking like next time like one person reads the article, then one takes a turn reading an experiment, the next experiment, and so on.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely do that. That's especially with 093 if it's multiple experiments. Yeah. Alright, starting the video back in 3, 2, 1.
Duncan was sure this was nothing to worry about. They all wanted to head home, and so they stepped into the cabin without much care. That was their
What?
biggest mistake. The
Ah!
creature appeared from the other room and killed Private McLeod, then moved forward with lightning-fast speed to kill off Private Langley. Corporal Duncan stood there in shock and managed to bring out his weapon to stop the creature from killing him too. Welcome back to SCP Exposed. Today we bring you Euclid class object SCP-1.
What? Wait, they put the wrong number!
Yeah.
Wait, the wrong number? What's
It's
the actual-
3199 and they put 139.
Oh, come on, man.
Also, if you look at the bottom, Hatchet, They literally put the correct number on the video's title.
Yeah, also
Yeah.
they put it as Euclid. It is Keter.
Okay, way back.
Way back. Okay, yeah, hold on.
Because I do recall this thing being a Euclid at one point.
2021. Let's see.
But I don't think it changed the. I don't think it changed the SCP number.
No. That's
Well, yeah, it definitely didn't change the SCP number. I mean, just like the classification.
Yeah, that's
January
why
30th.
we're looking.
This is the latest before February. January 31st, 2021. And it was Keter.
Well,
Okay.
why do I even try to be generous?
You're a nice
Why do I even-
person.
Why do I like what I'm tired I'm tired of trying to give the benefit of the doubt and being stepped on.
Look, we're not trying to step on you. I mean, they
Oh, no,
are technically stepping on you, but
Oh no, that's what I mean. They're fucking like I try to give them the benefit of the doubt and then every fucking time they disappoint me.
well, we love that about you. We like giving them a chance on you. We don't like that, but
Yeah.
No, fuck. God damn it.
Good.
I accidentally put a chicken egg in my incubator.
Okay, so before we continue, I am now curious what 1399 is. Because I swear, if they start reading 1399...
That would be so fucking funny.
Yeah. Okay, so we should probably... Okay, I'm gonna look at it real quick. What is that? Another Way of Hearing. This is
Ooh.
nickname. It's a 15-page children's book called Another Way of Hearing. So it's a children's book.
Oh my god.
Oh man, if you're
Oh, God.
if our community was what's up?
If you read, listen to this book after the last page is turned and books close, you can no longer hear again. You're permanently deaf.
No. You can no longer hear from the world around you. So
Oh,
you can
yeah.
hear from other places. So you're hearing shit from other places. That's honestly, that's probably worse.
Yeah.
Jesus
just gonna-
Christ.
I was just gonna say, like if we had like a larger community and had like a notable handful of animators, like to the point where we could actually have like our rambling turned into animated skits, I'd love to see a version of this where they recreate that initial attack scene, except it's just a fucking giant children's book.
You just get like they just get clocked in the head with the children's book.
Yeah, just like like the children's book just flies over like it's a shuriken, hits him in the head, and then it just starts menacingly tip-tapping its way over toward the fucking main guy that kills it.
Oh, look here. Yuki class. Last time I checked, 319 has been upgraded to Cure class October 10th, 2017.
How do you... Oh. It was upgraded to Keter in the first term of Cheeto Man's presidency. Are you kidding me? How do you fuck it up this bad?
I guess life finds a way.
Oh yeah, look, no one responded to this person. Did anyone notice that for 2 seconds, not minutes, he said 13.99 with the title said 31.99, which is right here. So we already at 43 seconds have. I'm gonna hit non-exist, like the rank one, because that's wrong rank.
Wait, isn't there like a wrong rank spot?
Oh, wait, is there? I can't remember.
Oh yeah,
I remember there being-
we're already gonna probably check that off when they bring in the fucking
No.
Doesn't
05
Bright have the
long dick or
bingo
whatever
that
the
like
fuck.
refreshes itself?
Yeah, I think I put wrong rank as with non-existent rank for some reason. I don't remember.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah,
Well,
so it's...
non-existent rank because 05 long deck or whatever, general
Oh
05.
yeah, yeah,
Right,
it's...
yeah, General 05 long dick.
Yeah, also it says wrong name / number.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized we can easily get a contradiction too, because he's probably going to say 3199.
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
be immediate
Technically, we've
contradiction.
already had a well, no, not a contradiction for them.
Yeah, anyways, let's actually start the video again.
Yeah, if the contradiction thing was based solely on then contradicting the actual article, then it'd just be the free space.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Anyways, in 3, 2, 1.
399. As of this day, the Foundation currently contains 6 instances of SCP-1399.
What's wrong with its mouth?
I just want to head pat this fucker.
Also, I'm pretty sure its mouth... Is its mouth that bad, or...
It's
Maybe.
I feel like its mouth isn't too bad.
Yeah,
Like if you look
Yeah.
at the OG picture.
Yeah.
And kind of
Technically, the OG picture, that is not flesh on its face; it's blood. It has
Yeah.
a normal lips. It's not normal at all, but the lips are relatively normalish. They're just chickenish shaped,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh wait,
like
wait,
a chicken without a beak.
wait. So
So
did they?
therefore, it's inaccurate.
So did they?
They basically
Think that-
misinterpreted the blood stain as like a color mark, and they made the mouth people shaped instead of bird shaped.
Hey, birds can be people too. Look at Bray.
Fuck off.
Well, yeah, but look at the lips on the illustration and tell me
I
that.
know.
Yeah.
Anyways, in 3, 2, 1.
Also, its ears are supposed to be a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The creature's appearance is best described as a mixture between a human, a blobfish, and a
I'd
featherless
say
chicken.
rather than human ears, it looks
Wait.
more like an enlarged version of reptilian ears.
They already cut out cut out something. They only said a blobfish, human, and chicken. But there's more.
Was blob chicken? I'm not blob chicken. Was blob
chicken.
even
Hold on.
mentioned? Because
Wait.
I remember multiple animals, but I don't remember blob chicken.
I even went in the past one they probably looked at. Silky chicken, chimpanzee, stoat, mussel, adder, and human DNA. That was unchanged.
Yeah, none of those are that.
None of those
kind
are blobfish.
Well, they did say that. I think they're trying to describe it and saying that it looks like it because that's like the way that they put it. They're not like trying to list the genetic composition, but even
Fair.
still, how does that look anything like a blobfish?
Right.
Ironically enough, it looks more similar to the non-blobbed out blobfish, like when it's in its natural habitat.
Yeah. Anyways, in 3, 2, 1.
They are typically hairless, stained with a
Did
thin
they
layer of
elongate
albumin-like
its arms. They
I think-
elongated its arms.
Hold on, I want to go back a bit and make sure that... Alright.
General Chicken McLong arms.
Alright, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
399. The
Yeah,
creature's
they did
appearance
change
is best
all of
described as a mixture between
Yeah,
a
I said
human,
appearance,
a
not
blobfish,
DNA.
and a featherless chicken.
Yeah.
They are typically hairless, stained with a thin layer of albumin-like excretion, and stand at an average of 2.9 meters. Its weight averages 780 kilograms for a matured instance.
Awesome.
Autopsy has determined that the cervical vertebrae of a mature SCP-3199 instance is composed of cartilage rather than bone. This enables the neck and throat to twist and dislocate to around 340 degrees in either direction. The origin of SCP-3199 is
You
unknown.
know what? That's a
although-
valid reaction, but also they're contained like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably barely any glass in its containment.
Also, did they even make that random no-name actor look better than the one woman in the last video? That
Yeah.
pissed me off!
Anyways, in 3, 2, 1.
Analysis of tissue shows traces of silky chicken, chimpanzee, stoat, mussel, adder, and human DNA.
Okay, so yeah.
There we
But-
go, yeah.
So they just made it seem like it looks like a blobfish. No, it does
Why
not.
did they make this
No.
snake look so big?
I don't know. I guess they were probably just, like, grabbing non-to-scale pictures.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
The creature's primary objective appears to be to spread its numbers. Instances of SCP-3199 are always found
Depicts it
nearby
Yeah.
hatchlings. These hatchlings appear as large eggs, although their exterior shells are much more durable than the typical egg material. An egg will pass through the creature's esophagus and eventually out via the mouth, followed by a viscous red substance.
We didn't need to see that, man.
I'm pretty sure there's more of that substance than that, as it was described in
Yeah.
the article.
Also, due to how big the eggs are, I'm pretty sure the head would be... The jaw, I mean, would be a lot larger, like pushed
Yeah,
out.
the jaw would be fully dislocated.
Yeah.
I imagine that they would have to like angle their head so that like their mouth is in line with their neck.
Also, it doesn't come out that fast, as they are said to be screaming when it comes out. They
Yeah.
don't have time to scream if it comes out in 1 second.
Yeah.
Childbirthing is not that easy. Somehow, even with non-gendered creatures, they manage to get it wrong.
Yeah. Anyways, 3, 2, 1.
First thought to be a form of placenta, chemical breakdown has determined it to be a highly acidic material. SCP-3199 shows extreme distress throughout the process, with personnel describing the sound as not dissimilar to a scream. The creature will then remain within a 0.6 kilometer radius of its...
Show the creature easily giving birth within a second and then just
Yeah.
sounding distressed.
Yes.
Look at the little goober in the background.
He looks like a character from SpongeBob, like a villain from SpongeBob. I will steal your Krabby Patty, SpongeBob.
Oh, it's just such a little goober in the back.
Anyways, 3, 2, 1.
hatchlings, presumably to protect them. SCP-3199 has shown a violence whenever it comes into contact with human or animal life. It will proceed to kill any being with its large teeth and claws, and will decompose the remaining organs and bones with its acidic secretions. The remains will then be placed near a hatchling. Researchers theorize this is for ready consumption once the hatchling reaches maturity. SCP-3199 produces its eggs to fill unoccupied space. There is
Yeah.
no known limit to the
Why-
number of
why
eggs
does
the
that
creature
look
is...
like Easter eggs with how badly it was colored? I'm not joking. Rewind it and watch that again. It looked like it was giving Easter eggs.
capable
Hold
of...
on. So let me go back for a second. Oh, these eggs?
When it was the eggs coming out of its throat.
to fill
yeah.
unoccupied space.
Oh my god, they just look like off-color Easter eggs. Come on,
Yeah, because
man.
remember, they're supposed to be entirely covered in the red acid.
Yeah.
They also kind of look like crappily designed Digimon eggs. If anyone's ever watched
They
Digimon.
look like a kind of nut. I don't remember what it's called.
Hmm.
Oh, I think
Cashew, maybe?
No, cashew
Dude.
don't
No,
look like that.
I'm thinking of something
It's
else,
too
probably.
oval to be a cashew.
Right.
Kind of like a peanut outside of the shell.
No, not that one. I'm trying to like. Okay, I need to look up.
Technically shaped like a macadamia, but macadamia.
Oh my gosh, they are Digimon eggs.
What?
What?
I went to go. I kid you not. I swear. I looked at Digimon eggs on fucking Google Images. First image I see is that.
Oh,
They are Digimon eggs.
Oh my
so
God.
that's why the little guy in the background was such a little goober. They're just Digimon.
Oh my God.
Digimon eggs. Hold on, I gotta show stream.
They're just little digital monsters.
Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are our champion. Well, these Digimon being ones that eat you, but
I gotta find a Digimon egg.
There was one. There was one specific kind of nut that I remember seeing that like looks very similar.
in color?
Well, like okay, like with like so like do you see those like actually yeah, I guess they kind of can look like peanuts, but oh wait. I want to see.
Oh, I know why I remember that egg design. Because the Digimon that comes out of that egg design is the Digimon that throws pink shit as a Digimon move.
Oh. Okay.
They were very prominent in the Digimon first Digimon series for some reason. I just still
No,
find
no.
it funny
Yeah, no, not peanuts. Okay.
that they just look straight up like Digimon eggs.
Kind of. I know that there's a nut that looks like this. But I can't fucking find it.
Gotcha. Do you want us to continue?
You can go continue. I'll find it later, and
Okay,
if I find it, I'll tell y'all.
gotcha. Anyways, 3, 2, 1.
There's no known limit to the number of eggs the creature is capable of producing, and the standing theory is as follows. Given enough time, a single instance could single-handedly perform an LK-class species transmutation scenario. Attempts of communication with SCP-3199 have been made, but all attempts have been unsuccessful. The only response the creature appears to make are gurgles and squeaks that resemble wet pasta, although it is unlikely these are a direct response to personnel's questions. The termination of a live instance can be achieved through a variety of equally effective methods. SCP-3199 has proven to be around as resilient as a standard human.
Where if you kill one, it spits out an egg.
Yep.
Yeah.
Human subject. However, complete eradication has proven difficult for hatchlings due to the strength of their exterior shell. A single SCP-3199 egg can bear a tremendous amount of resilience, maintaining its form and purpose even following.
Are you using Thor's hammer?
I think that's less Thor's hammer and more like giant war hammer, which is still very quite random. People are just randomly carrying around warhammers. You know how fucking heavy they are? You
Don't-
have
Well, I mean,
to be like a fucking like heavy lifter, like one of those super heavy lifters to just casually throw it around.
Oh, that's the thing. It's not even shaped like an actual warhammer. Those things are like
They have
don't look anything
yeah.
like this.
You're
Yeah.
technically right because they have much longer handles because it's supposed to help you handle the weight better.
Here's
Well,
the thing.
it's both that it has much longer handles, but they're actually like surprisingly light.
Yeah.
Like, the average
Huh.
Warhammer historically weighs, like, 9 pounds, if that.
Well, I know
Um,
most actual Warhammers are a lot. Talking about the bigger.
Well, what this reads to me as is a maul, which is, like, primarily a tool rather than
Ah.
a weapon of war.
Yeah.
I need to look up what a mall is.
Also,
Yeah, it looks like a stone maul.
yeah. Also, I was gonna say, Jerry, don't question why Doctor Thor is hitting his hammer right here.
Once again, that is not Thor because that is not Thor's hammer.
It does look like they vaguely made it more similar to Mjolnir because it's like gigantic hammerhead
I
combined with
think what they
single-handed.
made that look like is a video game version
Oh
of
yeah.
a Warhammer because that is
Yeah.
almost exactly like the Warhammers used in Diablo 2.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
would not be
In
surprised.
fact, let me look up Diablo 2 Warhammer.
We're just pulling things from other games and shows and finally just ripped off them. I found that they use Digimon eggs, and Jerry's finding out they use Warhammers from Diablo 2.
It was either Diablo 2 or 3, but I remember one of them had a giant Warhammer. It was one where you traveled to different locations and you didn't just stay in one location.
Hmm.
It's just very hard to find because apparently a lot of video game stuff is everywhere. And they're like, do you mean this or this or this or
No.
this?
I guess what like they reminded me the most of was like Brazil nuts or something. But not.
Uh,
Yeah.
Wait, could it be one of these? Okay, let's see.
I like how majority of this video is just us trying to compare things outside of this video to the things in the video.
meh.
There we go. Warhammers. This is one of the Warhammers. Diablo 3. Let me grab one from Diablo 2, because that's the one I thought they were using. Why don't they have a picture for the one in Diablo 2? Why is that just an ad?
Oh, there is something I do really remember that was really
Mind
fucking
you,
close to that, but
when it comes to weapons in Diablo, the picture changed depending on the rank found. So these are just like one instance. There's a reason. It's like these things that have multiple ways. Ah, yes, only one picture. Oh, there's other ones. Do I need to keep clicking these until I find the right warhammer?
I feel like I feel like we're good.
no, we're good.
Yeah.
Did I did I did I prove the point?
Yeah, sure.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
just,
feel
Okay,
like
yeah.
we already knew exactly what you meant.
yeah.
Oh, exalted grand craghammer. This one looks different than that one, but I still like that one. That one's off topic though. Sorry.
Looks nice. Well,
My favorite activity is blowing up quarries.
Anyways, 3, 2, 1.
Continual subjection to extreme blunt force trauma, pressure exceeding 180,000 psi, high pressure blades, serrated and non-serrated, and long-term acid exposure. The application of plastic explosives was considered,
Also,
but quickly
all of
rejected
these
by
just look
higher
like
administration.
nuts. Like they're doing all this shit to nuts. Because of the coloring of the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I literally just looked at nuts for like a couple of seconds. Well, a minute or two.
Yeah.
Trying to figure shit. Ah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
3, 2, 1.
Administration. He is a primary component in the growth and development
Wait,
of
why
SCP.
was he? Why was? Did you see his eyes? He looks like he was angry.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
He is a primary component in the growth and
They
development
looked like they were
of
angry. Like
So I think that was just meant to be like the ridge of the
the
nose.
nose. I know, but it just looks like they're angry.
Yeah.
SCP-3199's eggs, as discovered in an experiment conducted in March of 2019. An egg was relocated to a secure containment.
What? I thought. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm pretty sure in that experiment, the heat experiment. Yeah, 2017. They got the wrong date.
Also, look at that. That reminds me of those thumbs from. Well, actually, no. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of those thumbs from Spy Kids.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see it.
I was
But
thinking
in-
lima
but-
bean.
But in
like-
this
Not lima bean.
But in this case, the thumb is in like a tuxedo or some shit. Actually, no, like a military, like shirt or some shit.
Like a high collared jacket.
Yeah. So yeah, they got the wrong date. So the year was 2017. Even in the one before their video came out.
I like potato chips.
Cell. Inside, temperature of the cell was gradually increased at an average rate of 7 degrees Celsius per minute. After approximately 9 minutes, the egg ruptured violently and produced a single hatchling. On-site personnel reacted swiftly to recontain the newborn instance. However, the excessive internal temperature appears to have impacted the physical maturity of the hatchling, and it reached adolescence at an accelerated rate of 40 seconds. The now adolescent hatchling produced 2 further instances of SCP-3199. Security response on site was swift, and all 3 instances were detained cleanly. This experiment could have easily resulted in a containment breach were it not for the quick reaction of on-site security. Therefore, any form of experiment pertaining to applying heat to SCP-3199 hatchlings has been forbidden by O5 level personnel. Another experiment was conducted with the
Wait, they didn't say LD or anything. They're just 05 level personnel. They're not doing LD anymore.
They're learning. They got yelled at for adding General Long Dick. General 05 Long Dick.
Well, watch them do that like later.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too surprised.
We have not seen the last of Long Dick, I bet.
Neither has. We have not seen the last of Long Dick. Neither
Okay.
has Brazzer.com.
Okay, I gotta add that as.
Yeah, add that equal to things. Well, 18.
Yeah.
Anyways, in 3, 2, 1.
hatchlings, except instead of heat, extremely low temperatures were administered upon the egg. The egg was submerged entirely in liquid nitrogen. Security remained on standby throughout the procedure, in light of prior experiments. After approximately 45 minutes of exposure,
Wait, I gotta-
SCP-3199 had reached
No, you're good. I'm just talking to myself.
negative 100.
I was just saying that I gotta
Celsius.
like capitalize it.
Gotcha.
Following 2 hours of exposure, the egg was removed and placed under a hydraulic press. The hydraulic press peaked at pressures of around 9,000 psi. Cracks appeared approximately 30 minutes into exposure before the egg shattered. Egg fragments were collected and, furthermore, pressed into a fine pulp. 0 traces of albumin or yolk were located. Complete incineration of the shell's remains proved successful in destroying the egg and its reproductive capabilities entirely. This method has proved successful in the destruction of SCP-3199 hatchlings. SCP-3199 was first discovered by the Foundation in Ireland following witness reports of a bald creature crying like a banshee from within an undisclosed area of woodland. These reports resulted in the dispatchment of Mobile Task Force Omega-19, who arrived on site with a total of 12 armed personnel.
Did they just?
2 personnel were
Yeah, they literally just changed the story of the beginning that they made up.
Yep.
I want to make sure to use the right question of ban list. Okay, so yeah, it was Omega-19. Just making sure it's the right, because they messed up other things. I had to make sure to use the correct, mobile task force.
Yeah.
Anyway, so contradiction. It's a 3, 2, 1.
lost in action, their internal organs and jaws having been almost entirely dissolved. During transportation, SCP-3199 produced 2 offspring, resulting in the deaths of a further 6 personnel. 1 week after the first recovery of the creature, a thorough sweep of SCP-3199's initial recovery location was enacted in an attempt to uncover the creature's origin and purpose. Local reports suggested that the small remote residence in question had been abandoned for at least 2 decades. Surface Team Delta 029E recovered several items of interest, including 1 bag of assorted thread and needles in various colors and sizes, approximately 13 chicken carcasses with visible human teeth marks lining the bare areas at random intervals, several containers including water bottles and Tupperware boxes holding an unidentified watery paste. The paste was a deep brown in color, and in the presence of oxygen, it turned hard. An A5 notebook heavily scratched with what was determined to be human fingernails. The words "New Breed Manifesto" are written on the front cover. The notebook itself consisted of 24 pages of standard lined paper.
I'm just saying
Written
this
in-
now, that is not how a notebook is designed.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's how a hardcover book looks. Yeah, and back then a notebook would have looked different. It wouldn't have had like the 3-ring binder look, but it would not have been a hardcover book.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been like leather.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a leather like one.
Yeah, it would have looked leather. I mean, hardcover books existed, but that's not how a notebook looked. It's a notebook for note taking.
As we all know, Mark Zuckerberg in 2001 invented the hardcover book.
Anyway, it's in 3, 2, 1.
non-anomalous black ink. 19 of these pages consisted of various childlike illustrations vaguely resembling SCP-3199. On the remaining 5 pages, large lines of writing detailed the diary of an unnamed individual. Much of the written script was unreadable, although there was one section that was somewhat legible.
Oh,
It
by
has
the
been
way,
edited
pause.
slightly.
Do we want to say that this is, well, as melanated as they're gonna make anyone, but intended to be someone of color?
I'm guessing so, yeah. Also, by the way, sorry. You're gonna say something?
Oh, you go.
I was gonna say, so far they got rid of the one female character.
Yeah, there hasn't been a single woman, but we've got a guy of color, I think.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
big,
the set
big,
director
I
was
think.
a woman.
Yeah. Just a very big, I think, because this could also just be a white guy in the right lighting.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, it's in 3, 2, 1.
For easier understanding, it reads as follows. If you're reading this, then lucky you. 400,000 hours from now, and it'll be warm and wet and warm.
That's
And the
way
wonderful
tidier than the actual.
Yeah, the whole point of it was not written legibly.
Is this
Also,
really?
wasn't it written in Gaelic?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I think it was.
yeah, it was Gaelic because there was a song written in Gaelic inside of it too.
It's like writes in Gaelic,
Hmm.
and then it's like shows it in English.
You know, there's a particular uncomfortable flavor in the mouth from not only erasing the mention of Gaelic, but also erasing the depiction of Gaelic and replacing it with English that has absolutely no historical context that could make this very uncomfortable. I can't think of any historical context
That's so
in which
sarcastic. You know exactly all the context.
I know all the
So much
context.
horrible historical context.
I can't.
Like
I
how
can't.
for so many hundreds of years, the British basically treated the Irish like worse than black people and
Yeah.
like relatives of black people, like replaceable things they wanted to remove so they could eventually like fill the land with fucking cattle.
Yeah.
Multiple instances where Irish were literally starved so the English could steal more of their land.
Yep,
Well,
and
yeah,
a
but
million
like
people.
the main
Oh, sorry.
in this particular case, I was mainly trying to allude to the fact that, if I remember correctly, at certain periods of time, it was literally just completely illegal for
Yes.
students to be taught
They
Gaelic.
were trying to erase
Yeah.
the Gaelic language, Irish culture as a whole.
Yeah, and if I remember-
Effectively, just the exact same thing that was
That's-
done and is still happening to
That's
First
Indigenous people.
also why so much of Irish folk has been lost. Not
Yeah.
because of the
Yeah.
lack of trying, but because the British were literally trying to stamp it out of existence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is an active cultural
Yeah.
word.
I was gonna say, like, didn't, like, in both the potato famines, or Irish famines, I should not say potato famines, sorry.
One is technically a potato famine, the other one is a famine, but is not labeled as a potato famine.
Yeah, didn't, like, both famines, a million people died?
Also,
I
in
believe so.
in both instances, the Irish were growing crops that were not potatoes, but they were not allowed to touch those because they belonged to the British, who then casually took what the Irish had grown for them and not given them any,
Food back.
which makes it a lot worse than they could not grow potatoes.
Yeah, which is...
It's a disease, wiped out the potatoes. The British basically watched them dying like they're worse than cattle,
Mhm.
took the wheat they had grown, and let them die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not sure which famine it was, but basically how I got my Irish ancestry is because my ancestor, in order to feed their family, they stole a noble's pig and got ratted out by their neighbor, so they fled to America.
That neighbor
Oh,
sucks. But the neighbor probably did it because they were afraid of they were like considered covering for the neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't wholly disdain people in desperate situations acting
Yeah.
on desperate situations. It's literally a large part of why power structures do this to people.
Yeah, I have no idea which
to
famine that would be,
encourage
though.
division.
So yeah, mark racism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways. 3, 2, 1.
versatility of inferior human DNA will give birth to a better era, a stronger era, one where food and water will be nothing but things of the past as
Is
we
there
make and
something
make.
like racist about having the black man about how they're going to replace the inferior human race?
Kinda. Also,
Mark that is a strong maybe.
Yeah.
That was a sarcastic question. I think we not maybe.
Strong, maybe. I don't know. I am not an expert on that, so I would.
Well, think
Also-
of this. What did they like to? What was the eugenicist argument?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
like,
Huh?
also, it's important to note that with the addition of them erasing the Gaelic thing, they put that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
erased
So-
the Gaelic, and then they had the one black the one black man in the entire video read about the eugenics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Anyways, let's continue. Maybe we'll finally get to see the female. Who knows?
Knock on wood. I do not think they can do more racist things in the video. Knock on wood.
Well, they absolutely could. It's just this is like the standard level of racism they tend to have,
Yeah.
rather than outright immediately going into blatant stereotypes and saying slurs.
Yeah, it would be pretty funny the second after Jerry says that, the next few seconds is just this guy just shooting Irish people.
Oh my god.
That or just like
Okay, let's see
That-
if anything racist happens after.
that,
If it
that or they
does, I'm
just
gonna have to go downstairs and grab a snack.
that or they just like randomly kill them off.
Let's watch this.
And make more until I don't really have much time. That's why I envy you so much.
What?
You'll have all the time you need. Time will be on, and death will be
What?
life.
What?
Life. New life needs things to live. New life will be
What?
a part of life
This
from
was
now
part
on.
of it, but like it
Final
was
page
hard to
consisted of-
understand.
Yeah.
What the hell is this in the back? Like behind the writing.
Were they
What-
try? Were they?
So- Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
I feel like this is more racist.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because it was written in Gaelic.
Still carrying on with that issue.
Okay, you know what? I can cross this. A similar issue they did before racism. So it's a carry on of the. Not a new.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I hate them. Press play.
Of the words life written repeatedly over and over again, as well as the words want it. Additionally, the lyrics to English songwriter Frederick Weatherly's Danny Boy were written in Old Gaelic script.
They
Yeah,
even
that
admit
was-
it!
You
Gaelic script. It's written in English. Oh my god.
Right!
Lazy sack of ass.
Okay, I was suspecting that the reason they had that fucking font was to make it quote unquote look Gaelic.
Technically, they could have even been lazy. A translator. Think
Yeah,
of
that's-
that.
That was my exact thought. Like, literally, if you're gonna do this with basically no effort, just take the song Danny Boy, slap it into Google Translate, bada bing, bada boom, you've got your
technically,
Gaelic.
you don't even need to do that. There's Danny Boy and Gaelic.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It just comes
It's
in
just-
Gaelic by default.
it's just. My.
It was
It's-
originally written in Gaelic.
Oh, wait,
into
really?
English.
I didn't realize that.
I believe, yeah. A lot
Interesting.
of Irish songs are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I like how this one video is hurting us more than the previous one.
I don't
At
know if
least
it's
this one's
hurting us
probably going to get a
more.
higher rate. Probably.
Hopefully.
It's probably
Yeah,
going
probably.
to. I don't know if this one's hurting us more. It's just like
It's just
hurting
more
us in a denser
It's-
chunk.
It's
Yeah.
more
Yeah, well,
consistently hurting us, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very least, like in this chunk. To me, this is like the first one was like boiling in oil. This one's like walking on a bed of nails and then you trip. Like the tripping makes it way more painful at a very specific spot.
Yeah. Anyways, 3, 2, 1.
Identity of the journal's author is still unknown. SCP-3199's current containment procedure is as follows. All live instances of SCP-3199 are to be contained on Site-114 within a modified Keter humanoid container chamber, hereby referred to as primary containment, the walls of which should be contained in approximately 2 cm thick acid-resistant steel. Secondary containment consists of suspending all live instances of SCP-3199 within a block of solid transparent substance, currently clear acrylic
Did they
resin.
just lazily give
This
them
block
chicken
is-
nest?
Yes.
Yes, they did.
Mhm.
They just randomly have chicken nests. Don't know why.
to be at a height of at least 3 meters, with 1 armed security guard stationed immediately outside initial containment at all times. Secondary containment is to be regularly examined for damages. Movement and activities of any kind
Okay, as a
is to be
quick side
noted.
note, I think that was accurate, but this is just like a slight, like, funny thing that pops up from this being a fan community, and like in the little inconsistencies in the level of security containment, because like the fucking incident with the fucking infinite what is it? Infinite business cards. After that incident, they stationed 2, if I remember correctly, 2 armed guards outside of the place. While on this thing, they've only got 1 armed guard outside of the place. Oh wait, no, I might be misremembering that.
No, that one has multiple guards guarding the halls.
Right, yeah, like they have a proper patrol setup.
Mm.
So it's actually probably more than 2.
Yeah, which is just
Hilarious.
Yeah.
it's like it's not guarded around the clock, but they specifically changed their patrol patterns to monitor the room where the fucking business card holder is. But they can't be fucked to add at least 1 more guard to the XK class causing chicken monsters containment cell.
Anyways, 3, 2, 1.
And the current Site-114 director is to be informed at the earliest possible convenience.
And
Experiments
what gender
involving-
is that director? What is the director? What is the director's name?
My favorite activity is degendering.
My God.
The use of live SCP-3199 instances are strictly prohibited without approval from at least 2 personnel of Level 4 security clearance or above. In the event of a containment breach, the following procedure has been devised to limit collateral damage. On-site personnel with Level 1 security clearance or above assume standard lockdown procedure and evacuate Site-113 to await further instruction.
I feel like
Site
modified
114.
violence needs to be a 2.
I feel like there hasn't been much of any modification to the violence.
But there has been so far because, for instance, the first force that came in to retrieve them, 8 of their people total died out of 12 people, but they did not. They totally skipped those deaths. They mentioned that some died, but not how many.
No, they did. They said 2 died at the beginning, and then 6 died on the transport.
Oh, okay. Then did they mention the breach where more people died?
I don't think so. I don't remember
No.
them mentioning a breach.
And they completely skipped the conversation the captain had with the director.
Well, we still have some time left.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's see if that happens.
Or is
It
to be
probably won't.
flooded in its entirety by a clean, distilled water treated with dissolved Class A sedatives. Surface Team Tango 306A will be dispatched immediately to retrieve any lingering instances of the creature's eggs. Any living instances of SCP-3199 will be terminated on site, and their remaining eggs will be collected. All egg samples are to be transported to temporary off-site containment within a stable water bath. Site 114 will be subsequently drained, and custodian staff will be dispatched to thoroughly clean and sanitize the grounds to a Green Zone Foundation standard. Researchers have discovered that SCP-3199 appears sedated in liquid, as it seems to consider the water as occupied space. SCP-3199's primary objective is still uncertain. However, researchers are unsure as to whether the creature wishes to take over the world through its rapid reproduction cycle, or whether it merely exists to reproduce and spread its numbers. SCP-3199's violent behavior towards humans, however, confirms that under no circumstance may the creature be allowed to roam freely, as it poses a huge threat to innocent lives. Any reports of SCP-3199 outside of the Foundation's facilities must be investigated immediately and recovered. So, what did you think of that SCP case?
Nope, they didn't.
Yeah, I did look in the Wayback Machine. They were that video transcript was still there.
I mean, the intro was from the video transcript. They just never went back to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's just.
Okay, so
So,
first,
removal of like the character / license. They luckily did not include the image. Thankfully. But
so they just removed the characters.
yeah, basically a couple characters.
Yeah. I don't know. Was there any characters removed?
Yes, the director they removed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Pretty
Ewig.
much removed her.
Yeah. And,
Did they mention
They pretty much did.
the
They only
task
mentioned,
force
but like they didn't.
that had people die during the one outbreak? Not outbreak, but
During the beginning, they did add them. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
add
that
the
wasn't
characters.
that wasn't the task force with the when they broke out. That was the task force collecting them that they mentioned.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
yeah,
they did remove
They
that.
also erased an entire task force.
Mhm. Granted, these are like nameless plot movers, but yeah.
yeah.
Well, 3 of them at least had names. The one that was interviewed and the 2 that he kept mentioning died.
Well, the 2 that they kept mentioning were mentioned at the very beginning, but were not mentioned again.
As well as the guy who was in the interview.
Yeah, but they were not
So
mentioned
they
again.
mentioned him so quickly that they mentioned him. They didn't show him, and did they even talk about what happened, or was it just like
they just killed off
and go flash in the pan?
They just
Because
killed
if
it.
they just mention it that fast, I don't think it counts.
They killed the 2 characters. Then the guy shot the thing, I think, and then just went straight Euclid, $13.99.
Oh, right. That was when they were talking about they were the things being collected at the beginning.
Yeah.
That means
Yeah. So they changed that thing
at the very beginning at that part. That means they literally erased that task force and just made them part of the beginning.
Wait,
yeah, well, they called them. They did call them Mac Lloyd and the other name. They did call them that.
They just rearranged where the characters were.
Well, like that kind of like just takes away the characters, though.
Yeah, it basically totally erases them.
Like it erases
the names and replaced the names on. And put those names on different characters. They erased them.
So I think maybe a 3, I guess, for that.
A 3.
Because they had a, because they had the,
They never.
just to give them a little bit of
Hmm?
credit for them not having
Hatchet, what you're
thing
saying?
wrong.
What are you
But
trying to say?
I just feel like in a video where
Mhm.
like the main bits are there, most characters are still there if largely taken out of their original roles. Like if we put a 3 there, then what happens when an SCP content farm
Well,
just literally has none of the same characters?
do the
Yeah.
characters count as still there if instead of being part of a task force in trying to contain a breach, they're instead part of a group gathering them from like where they're first spotted?
Yes,
Well,
as far as
well,
I'm
like,
concerned, yeah.
well, the
If
thing
instead
is,
of
like,
Wait,
I don't
Duncan
even,
says in the video transcript, McLeod and Private Langley were going to that metal shed, like almost like a shack totally out of scrap metal and wood, which is what happened at the beginning. So
well,
Yeah.
yes, but at the beginning they weren't. They were talking not about like that which was supposed to look like a giant chicken coop in the foundation. What they were talking about at the beginning was a shack they found them in Ireland.
I just
In the containment breach, Duncan and his people spotted the instances in what the instances had made, which was a giant like chicken coop that was basically a shack chicken coop. If you read that, it was like in the breach, containment breach. That happened, not in Ireland.
Well, yeah, but again, we're just yes, they fucked up the time frame. They didn't include a particular sequence of events, but they still included all of the named characters
yeah,
except for the director.
Should it be lowered to a 2 or a 1 then? Because all
I
the
think
pictures
two.
were
I was
included,
I
but
was I was feeling 1 because to me, like the one character that isn't that's effectively removed in the form of removing their name and degendering them is the site director, right? Every other name that we have and principal character that shows up is there, even if their timeline is swapped around. And I feel like we need to be careful about like I said, like immediately jumping to a three mark when
Yeah.
like hell, I wasn't here for all of them, but I'm certain that there's other SCP content farms that would just not have any of these characters. Not named, not mentioned anywhere. Just make their own series of events with their own characters, right?
Oh yeah.
And
honestly, I had been considering them removed because the out the containment breach was what they were talking about,
What I
and
think,
like,
what you're describing would probably be put more towards the deviates from the plot of the article category.
well, I was saying
Hmm.
because of that, Duncan had speaking lines.
Yeah, but they removed that. That would probably go
Yeah.
still with that category. But since
Well-
they still at least use the characters.
I'd still say 2. Because getting rid of, like, parts of, like, what the characters do is part of, like, it's, so, like, part of the characters are their dialogue and stuff.
well,
So
yeah,
getting
but
rid
by
of that
this,
is
but
like,
by this reasoning, did Peter Jackson take out Gimli from the Lord of the Rings? He's still there. He still has some of his principal characteristics, but he definitely took out a lot of stuff that he said.
Hmm.
Like the character's still there. So to me, like, the character is still there. Even if the adaptation botched it. What do you want, Festus?
They want in on this conversation.
I'm still saying 2.
Yeah. I would... let's just put it up for a vote. I would say 1.
I'll say 2.
Jerry?
I think 2 simply because they removed so much of the characters and they altered what the characters did, and it doesn't feel like the characters are entirely themselves
Mhm.
at the point of how much has been removed and altered. Because one very big key thing of Dongen was saying how he, an experienced person, felt so guilty. His trauma like haunted him. But in this version, he has no trauma at all. He doesn't mention his wife. He doesn't mention his baby. He doesn't mention how the other 2 were new. Nothing about those other 2 being new to the job was ever mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
characterization they had was removed. They're just names.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with 2 then, I guess.
Yeah. Go ahead with it.
Alright, altered or added gore or violence.
Let's see. We were thinking there were parts where it's altered gore, wasn't there? And
Yeah.
I can't remember what portions we were talking
Probably
about.
the egg laying part.
Yeah. Maybe a 2, I guess? I don't know.
I would be pretty fine with 2.
Yeah.
A good bit of the violence that's depicted is like pretty in line with how they do things, but I think a part of it is just like the way that they depict like the violent nature, like the way that they went about depicting the fucking upchucking of the eggs in comparison to its very like viscerally violent nature in the actual article is blah.
Yeah, also, deviants are
Also-
part of the article, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably like a 3 or a 4.
I'd put
Not
it
a
at
4.
It's not quite to the point where it's just
Yeah.
literally
Well, I said a 3 or a
unrecognizable.
4.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
yeah, like we're agreeing. I was just
Yeah.
like it's not to the point where it's literally unrecognizably the story.
Yeah,
I would be putting it around 2 or 3.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
I put it 3.
Yeah.
Alright, only minute video, such offensiveness.
It's
4.
just straight 4.
This-
There was no whammon. The only person of color well, the only possibly person of color they put into it was a guy reading a fucking literally not quite whitewashed, English washed version of a Gaelic script that's
Yeah.
basically just eugenics.
Technically, it would be whitewash.
Well, yeah,
It
I know.
could be considered whitewash since, like,
Yeah, whitewashing
they wouldn't be
refers to
considered
bleach.
white.
Yeah,
No,
back
no.
then.
Whitewashing is called whitewashing because it's an old variant of what you would what they would call when they use lye or bleach to wash things. It was a whitewash. It's
Yeah.
basically like bleaching out the color.
yeah.
So they were bleaching out the color of the culture of the Gaelic and magical things.